Alright lads, how's everyone doing? Hope you're all doing well. Today's video I want to talk about Eddie Hearn versus Ben Shalom. So to start this off, Matchroom's Eddie Hearn and boxer Sky Sports Ben Shalom have been getting into it over the last couple of weeks. It's been going on for the last couple of months, to be honest, but it really set off again after Dalton Smith's win against Jose Zepeda. They called out Adam Azim, who fights on Sky Sports Boxer for the European title, and it was dead silent. There was no word back from Ben Shalom or Adam Azim after this call out. I'm going to insert the clip here now.
He's called out Adam Azim here tonight. He wants to fight. What is your verdict? First bid's due to be very soon, of course.
Yeah, listen, I haven't got too much to say to Adam Azim other than I dare you to fight Dalton Smith. The WBC silver champion, the British Boxing Board of Control have ordered it. The European title have ordered it, your belt. There is no reason that you won't fight this man other than he's too good.
And that's just Eddie Hearn going off on Adam Azim. He's still a young fighter, so I don't blame him for not wanting to go up against someone like Dalton Smith this early in his career. But I understand where both Eddie Hearn and Dalton Smith are coming from. If someone's holding a belt and they're not going to fight you, they're going to get a bit mad. They're going to start calling you out. This has been an ongoing feud between Eddie Hearn and Ben Shalom. Nearly every fight that's nearly been made between both of them, Ben Shalom seems to always pull out of the purse bids and going in another route. And a lot of people are assuming this is because Ben Shalom doesn't want any fights or any of his fighters fighting on other platforms. He only wants his fighters fighting on Sky. And I think it's honestly idiotic. You think someone like him would want to be pushing his fighters onto other platforms, make their name more well known, especially when they're not fighting on pay-per-view events. There's been 5 fights over the course of a year that Matchroom and Sky's Boxer couldn't make happen. First, there was the Jaya Pataya versus Richard Riakporhe fight, and that never happened, which is a shame because that would have been an amazing fight, but because they couldn't get it on Sky, that couldn't happen. Then there was Clark and Wardley, which ended up happening, surprisingly, but it took over a year to happen, and they pulled out the purse bids the first time, and that kind of dragged Fraser Clark's name into the mud. Even to this day, people still go, well, why didn't he fight him the first time? He was after ducking him once. He was forced into a corner to fight him. But it turned out to be an excellent fight. I can't complain about that. There was also Caroline Dubois versus Beatrice Ferreira. That never happened. That was another fight that was ordered. And now there's Chevion Clark versus Isaac Chamberlain. I think that would be an amazing fight. But again, if it's not going to be on Boxer, Ben Shalom's not going to want it. He seems to want all his in-house fighters fighting each other. So a more realistic fight that is probably going to happen is Isaac Chamberlain versus Vidal Riley. Vidal Riley is just off a win, and during the post-fight interview, two of them got into a clash with each other. But then, surprise, surprise, Chev Clark showed up to the event and the cameras cut. They didn't show him at all. That's just, in my opinion, that just shows how much Ben Shalom doesn't want other fighters even on the screen. He was ready to just pull the plug on it and be like, look, we'll wrap this up now. We don't want Chev Clark being here. Over the last week on the Fabio Wardley versus Fraser Clark fight, they announced during the card that Adam Azim is going to be fighting Harlem Eubank, Chris Eubank Sr.'s nephew. And to be honest, it's an okay fight, but we all wanted Dalton Smith to be fighting Adam Azim, but that's not going to be happening now. And I can't blame them for not wanting to go down that route this early in his career. I also know that he's after vacating his European belt, so whoever Dalton Smith fights for it, it's not going to be as big of a fight as the Adam Azim fight would have been. But you know, he still has a chance to fight for it now. I'm not as annoyed now that Adam Azim vacated the belt. You know, if he's not ready for it, you know, you can't push him too much this early in his career. There's supposedly only 1 year left in the contract for Boxer and Sky. So Ben Shalom's Boxer and Sky's partnership together. And I don't think that's going to be renewed. I think they're going to go on a different route. I think it's a shame because Ben Shalom definitely has a good few fighters, and he just doesn't seem to understand why he's not getting the big pay-per-view events. And the whole reason that is because he won't leave his fighters fight on other cards, and it's a shame. He also doesn't have the charisma of someone like Eddie Hearn. He doesn't have the boxing mind like Frank Warren. You know, he's still young and he still has a lot to build up in his career. But at the moment, he doesn't seem to be suited for Sky Sports. I think it's a shame because Sky Sports used to be the pinnacle of boxing when Matchroom was with Sky. And even before that, when Frank Warren was on it here and there, when everyone used to kind of chop and change, you know, any promoter could be on it. And nowadays, you're not really excited to see a match or to see a boxer card. There's names on it you might be interested in, but then they sign people like Lawrence Okoli, which doesn't make sense. They try to make him the face of boxer, and we all know how that turned out. They do have a good amount of fighters like Caroline Dubois, Vidal Riley, Isaac Chamberlain, but I can't see anything happening at the moment with those fighters. I think when they're all done with their contracts, I think they'll be signing onto any other promotion. This video is kind of all over the place, lads. I apologise for that. I didn't record a video in the last week. I honestly have been trying to think of different ideas to do, and hopefully a lot of those will come into fruition in the next couple of weeks. I'm going to still make the breakdowns on cards that I'm interested in, but the next couple of weeks there's not too much until the Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney fight. I'm going to still try to post stuff on TikTok as well, and I'll be posting on my Twitter if you want to keep in contact there. And I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you next time.